What's going on, guys? It's Ty here. Today I want to show you a Frost build. He's one of my favorite characters in this game. I think a lot of people play him as a defense character, and a lot of people will play him as an offense character, but I think he has even more potential. I like to play him as a support. Between giving your allies overguard and just spawning crazy amounts of energy orbs, giving nourish, really helping your allies out. Even armor shipping enemies for your teammates. It's just all sorts of fun. We'll go ahead and just jump straight into the build. So I do have some Archon shards on. I'll show you what those do later because I do think that Frost gameplay can be a little clunky sometimes. So I'll go over those in a minute, explain to you why I have a few of these on. We'll jump straight into this though. So why do I think that Frost can be a support character? Well, very simple. I do like to play as support characters, so I try to look at all these warframes and see if they have the potential. I do see Frost being a very easy support character. First off, it's very simple to say, oh, I can just throw Nourish on my frame and turn them into a support character. Just giving all your allies energy. And that's very easy to do. But Frost does have the Icy Avalanche Augment. It gives allies around you Overguard. Overguard is a very, very powerful statistic that you can put on your allies. While it is just extra health, it can also be used to resist status effects. One of those status effects, very simply put, is stagger. It's basically like having primed sure-footed on all of your allies. And primed sure-footed is, I think it's like a 400-day login. That's ridiculous for most people. When I play with a lot of my friends, I find them and they've pretty much just started the game. It's not very common to have people around for 400 days. So a lot of people that I'm playing with don't have a mod like Prime Sure-Footed to help them get around without getting thrown around all over the place. So, it's very easy to play a Warframe like Dante, but I just find Frost more fun, in my opinion. Dante is he's a very easy Warframe to play, but I don't know, Frost is just, he can do literally everything. He can play as a defense character, as an offense character, as a support. I find him really fun. We'll jump straight into the abilities. First off is the passive. This did just recently get buffed, and I think it was a really good buff. At first it had like a pretty limited range, where you got extra armor on cold status effects on enemies in an area of effect. Now that area of effect is affinity range, which is pretty big. So, having your fourth ability basically freeze everything around you, that's going to be a lot of cold status effects. That's going to give you like an extra 1,000 armor. And I want somebody to leave a comment to let me know if this is true or not. Somebody did tell me this. I never really tested it. But I had somebody tell me that the snow globe actually scales off of your armor stat. So, having an extra 1,000 armor, that's going to make some very tanky bubbles. I did leave the first ability on. I didn't see myself using the second ability very much. So that's the one that I replaced with Nourish. And the first ability just clears the bubbles. If I'm playing a mission like, let's say, an excavation, I only have to temporarily defend an excavation target for like maybe 2 minutes, maybe a mobile defense target for like 2 minutes. Bubbles in Warframe gameplay, a lot of people will see it as like an eyesore. If it's not needed there anymore, people will be like, ew, the bubble, That's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like Limbo. So having the first ability to just pop bubbles behind you when you don't need it anymore, gets rid of that. And I didn't use my second ability anyways, so I just kept that on. The fourth ability is great. it has, first off, the Biting Frost augment, which Frost gains 200% critical chance and critical damage against frozen enemies. The fourth ability basically guarantees freezing enemies. So while this is an augment for his passive, it's basically an augment for his fourth. However, you do need like a decent amount of strength. At the strength I have right now at 159%, I have 95% armor reduction. That is a lot of armor reduction, but having that 100% is really good. That's why I have things like growing power, molt augmented. Both of those are boosting my strength. Once I get a few kills, I don't really even need the growing power. So you can replace this with whatever you want. But yeah. So here's a few of Frost's problems that I find, in my opinion. First off, he has a pretty low sprint speed. I think it's like a 1.14 base sprint speed. I know this is 1.38, but I thought I saw like a 1.14 earlier. But yeah, he's pretty slow. One of the easiest ways in order to make your Warframe faster is parkour velocity. So you could replace your Prime Sure-Footed mod, since you're going to be, constantly having your Overguard. You could replace it with Cunning Drift. It gives you negative friction, it gives you plus slide, and both of those are really good for movement. And you could also have your parkour velocity shards. That helps a lot with movement. Me personally, I also like to use the Praetos. The Praetos has, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there it is, 30% parkour velocity. I really like this melee. I don't use melees very often, so my melee slot is pretty much always the Praetos, just for this extra parkour velocity. I like to move around a little bit faster. Let's talk about the other Archon shards. I do have 2 strength here in order to boost my fourth ability up to that 95%, so I don't have to wait long before Molt Augmented gives me enough strength to fully armor strip. Another one is the casting speed shard. He has really slow casting. So, having casting speed gets you out of some pretty bad situations and makes the gameplay feel a little bit smoother. Another thing that makes the gameplay feel a little bit smoother is the Energy Max shard. This is just my own personal preference. I think that he definitely needs extra energy. He has like really bad, let's see if I can, I guess all my things are taken up. He has pretty low base energy. So, having extra energy max helps out. Another synergy that I think is pretty unique is with the Tenet Glaxion. It has a mod, Photon Overcharge. It has a 2% chance to drop an energy orb per cold status effect whenever you kill with the kill or assist with this weapon. And it's a beam that bounces between enemies, so a lot of energy orbs, as well as Archon Flow. If I get kills with a cold ability, yeah, enemies killed by cold abilities have a 10% chance to drop an energy orb. So that's a lot of energy orbs, as well as the Nourish. That's going to be giving allies, as well as yourself, a lot of energy. I think that's pretty much everything I really want to talk about. I've rambled for a while, so we can go ahead and go back to showcasing how this works. So the first thing that I like to do is hit him with the fourth to freeze. Right here. 950 extra armor just from one ability cast. I mean, first off, I've crowd controlled all the enemies around me, so they're not going to be killing me anytime soon. Also, that should give extra, if what I heard is true, extra tankiness on the bubble. And once again, if I don't feel like having the bubble there anymore, I just hit it with the first ability. I missed. I missed again. There we go. Makes it go away. Let me take my pet off. My pet got all those kills. Whenever I do these showcases, I like to not have a companion on. So that was my goof. I like to show you what the Warframe can do. So let's try that again. Boom. They're frozen. Having the Tentacle Axion. It's hard to get headshot kills from behind. But these guys are going to be dropping a lot of energy orbs. I mean, they're just all over the place. So that's something that I like. Now, if you get a status chance with the growing power, then use the 4th full armor strip. These guys are like butter. Very easy to kill if you see the red health bar. Now, it's very easy to nuke with this build. If they're armor stripped, once again, like butter, a second cast on lower level enemies can just nuke them. Also, freezing enemies can do wonders for charging like Incarnon weapons. A weapon that I used to use with this guy a lot was the Latron Incarnon. Where did I have that at? There it is. The Latron Incarnon was one of my favorite Incarnons. You freeze the enemies. Easy headshots. And we all know that I have shit aim, so being able to charge Incarnons very easily feels great. But yeah, between crowd controlling, giving yourself extra critical chance and critical damage, you know, also being able to place the bubbles wherever you want, while also freezing the enemies for the extra armor. He can play very defensively, very offensively, and surprisingly, he can play as a very good support. Just me casually messing around, I have 21,000 to overguard. I could stand in front of these guys for a surprisingly long amount of time for enemies in the 160s. And if my overguard breaks, I can cast it again. So yeah, this is one of the builds I really like. I like to do these with the, back when the Archon Hunt was first introduced, Frost was definitely the guy that was taking all those. So I guess I will go ahead and hop into a little bit of gameplay. I'll see you there. We're going to jump straight into a mission. We'll do public squad, so I can show how I'm being supported for my teammates. You gotta love those 20-second timers. Those are... Man, I love when those pop up. But, yeah, I think mobile defense is a good showcase of how you can play defensively. But with his 4th ability and, like, how much range is on this build, you can definitely play offensively and things like exterminates. This build pretty much caters to every playstyle. I like it a lot. I tried to record a gameplay video right before this one, but the lobby was just so laggy I had to quit out. Sometimes you just get a bad host. Taking forever to log into this one. Let's hope this one isn't laggy.
Are worthy foes. Underestimate them.
Alright.
Or bear 'em.
But that parkour velocity shard is definitely helping me move around a little faster.
Void fissures. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury? Keep moving. None of the scanners have detected you. You found a fissure. Look out for
Alright.
the activity.
I'm gonna hit everybody with my fourth. Gonna give me extra armor for a tankier
Drop me
bubble.
in and defend our position. This will only get more difficult. Get to a terminal and prepare for enemy resistance. The
Alright,
corrupted
everybody's
energies
here.
are trapping me.
I'll throw this in.
Collect it to open your portal. The reactor is working on your relic. Find more.
Pretty easy gameplay. It's
I'm
just
in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
using your fourth ability every now and then to give your teammates overguard. Trying to spawn a decent amount of energy. Can I just not hit this guy? Another laggy lobby.
Still working
Maybe
on
I'm
it.
the one that's lagging, who
Continue
knows.
to defend. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Oh! I thought I was lagging. I forgot to equip my pet. I'm just waiting for things to get sucked into me. Oh well, it's fine. Obviously, gameplay is better with the pet, but oh well, it's just one mission.
Terminal hacked. Keep moving.
Simple stuff. We're moving on to the next one. Powerful core velocity helping me
Terminal
get there a little
spotted.
faster. A
Upload me
decent
in
amount
and
faster,
prepare to
actually.
defend. I'm in, Tenno.
Not a lot of enemies in the area, so I'll just go ahead and use my bubble now. It's not like I'm going to get much more armor from using my fourth. But some of my teammates have 10,000 overguard already.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
Just keeping my abilities up, using my fourth every now and then. When I make builds, I don't do anything really that try hard. Most of it's just casual gameplay. But even a build like this
We are
could
finished here.
easily fit in somewhere in like, maybe in like a Void Cascade. This is a pretty good example. Oh, never mind. Somebody already armor stripped him. Wow, this is a tanky guy.
Stay
You know what?
focused.
Something is definitely wrong. I should be damaging this guy. I'm hitting like 0 damage numbers. Alright, somebody pick that up.
You have collected enough
Oh, I
reactors
never
to
picked that
open
up.
your relic.
I'm used to the pet. Let me go grab that.
Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in, Tenno.
Alright,
This will take
moving
a
on.
moment.
I wish the tile sets would just be a little bit smoother. I feel like I get stuck on a lot of things. Giving everyone overguard, hitting them with the Viral and the energy multiplier. Just trying to spawn energy orbs.
Parvos, the low thief shall never know the cool caress of your crowns.
Still working on it.
Oh, he spawned in front of
Continue
me.
to defend.
He showed up out of nowhere. But Frost is definitely good with crit weapons. But you don't have to use crit weapons. I'm using a weapon that I modded for status. And I'm still hitting yellows and oranges just because of the I think it's biting frost?
The odds were against us, Tenno.
Let's go ahead and get out of here.
But we did it. Mission
But yeah, simple
complete.
stuff. And that's that. And that's very lucky. Alright. I'd say that's a good point to cut off this video. So, maybe later today I'll come out with another video about some Frost gameplay. No commentary. And I'll see you when I see you. Deuces.